What up, everybody? In my quest to do more lives, I need to find more subjects to talk about. So today, even though I haven't ranted about pro wrestling in about several months, since the beginning of the year, I need to get a pro wrestling rant out of my system. Will I do it more consistently? I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But I got to talk about this year of John Cena, how I feel like the quality of WWE's booking has just really taken a hit this year, really over the past 2 years. But this year has been so disappointing. So that's why I need to get this rant out of my system. I am going to do another live later on something, probably Big Brother related. We'll see though. But for now, let's talk a little WWE. So Triple H's booking in 2025 has been just so lazy to me. The lazy booking has finally hit a fever pitch with the fans. You know, he was praised for his booking in 2022 and 2023, but things took a downturn last year. But this year has been the roughest go yet. It's been rough with a lot of the fandom lately. So rough, I've started seeing some fans starting petitions wanting Triple H ousted from the role. Well, that's not going to happen because WWE and TKO continue to make lots of money, and that's all they care about. Although, if ticket prices or ticket sales keep falling, maybe that will change, but I don't see that changing anytime soon. But the last WWE premium live event was WrestlePalooza, and it was supposed to be the company's big debut on ESPN, the new ESPN platform. It turned out to be a one-match show, and even ESPN themselves penned the event as disappointing. So I want to, I guess, talk about why I think, not that anybody's going to watch this, but why I think WWE and Triple H's booking has become so boring lately. Why has it become so lazy? Is Triple H burnt out? Is Triple H just sitting back because WWE and TKO are making a lot of money no matter how bad creative directions go? Or maybe Triple H was never this great booker he was praised to be. The story Triple H popped off with was the Bloodline story, which was already a story before Triple H became Booker. So old Vince McMahon himself did start that story, and Triple H then got the credit for it in the end. Now, Triple H's leg of the story was really great for a while, but it did probably go on too long. And since then, though, not another story has popped off like that. So, was it a one hit wonder, or is Triple H a one hit wonder, even if that wonder didn't even start under his pen? It kind of is looking that way. Though I will say, I did enjoy the build to AJ Lee's return. I did enjoy Naomi's run as a heel before she got pregnant. There's been some gems this year with the women, but overall, the year has been a bit of a struggle. But I think one of the main reasons Triple H's booking went from great to mid to now bad and lazy is the John Cena farewell tour. The whole farewell tour was always going to breed some lazy booking. When they can have a whole year of this is the last time you're going to see John Cena, they figured, "Well, we don't really have to do many other stories to sell tickets, to sell TV shows, to sell premium live events." Triple H thought people were going to like really clamor to see Rusev and Black back because yeah, those are kind of some of Triple H's favorites that were left under Vince McMahon. But I don't think that was enough for me. It's not enough for a lot. What up, Devin? Yeah, I'm talking some pro wrestling. Me too. I'm so sick of this farewell tour. So sick that I had to do this video. I haven't talked about pro wrestling in 7 or 8 months on this channel. You're saying it's a repeat of once in a lifetime. Cena's going to win the Rumble and challenge Cody again at Mania. So you think this farewell tour is not ending at the end of the year? I hope that's not the case because I am sick of it. It started with Cena's heel turn. That was the first big problem for me. In theory, I get why they did it. It was supposed to be the next big story. He hadn't turned heel for 2 decades, and then he finally did. And it seemed like it was Cena's idea in the first place. But the foundation of the story got off to a weird start with The Rock and Travis Scott involved with it. At first, it felt like it was going to be some sort of Hollywood thing, but they never really followed up on that. And so, like I said, I know Cena himself wanted to try this story, and it wasn't the worst at first with Cena upset at the fans. That was the part of the story because it kind of made sense. He was booed for these years as a babyface. But then the situation, the main problem was WWE's advertising this as Cena's last year, his farewell tour. And people didn't want to boo Cena if this is his farewell tour. I feel like WWE wanted its cake and to eat it too. So to announce that it's Cena's farewell tour, the last time you're going to see him, a once in a lifetime thing, like Devin is saying, but then you turn him heel and want people to boo him. I feel like that was just a combination set up for failure by WWE's greed and laziness. I agree, Devin. If The Rock would have gotten back involved, I do think it could have been saved a little bit, but unfortunately, that never happened. Another part of the story that made WWE seem creatively bankrupt the first half of the year for me anyway personally was Cena saying, I'm going to leave with the title. So for me it felt like for months none of these early feuds as him as a heel mattered because he wasn't going to be dropping that title if the story was supposed to be he's going to leave the WWE with the title. So it kind of felt for a while that a lot of the people on the main roster outside of Cena's feuds, just it was kind of irrelevant. The other stories started to fall to the wayside, and we just had to watch Cena play his greatest hits again with some of his rivalries, which was fine, but it was the first look at us having the lazy booking view. And then what do you know? After a few months, suddenly Cena is face again, and we have to move on to more lazy stories involving John Cena. I think the farewell tour has sucked the creativity out of the WWE, and we have been left with uninspired booking as the WWE banked on this farewell tour to be the year-long thing to sell tickets. But my question is, where do we go the next few months when the tour is over? I know Devin is saying maybe Cena surprises us, wins the Royal Rumble out of nowhere, doesn't actually retire yet. That's a possible surprise, but it might not work. I just want to know what's going to happen the rest of the roster. When is the rest of the roster going to have some inspired booking again? It can't just be the Cena show after December. So I'm hoping the creativity gets a spark back. I don't see it happening, especially not with the Royal Rumble in Saudi. But hopefully it gets a spark back because I think 2027's booking might be even bleaker with WrestleMania in Saudi. I feel like that's just going to breed more lazy booking. They already got this big payday. So why do we need to have creativity with the booking? Anyway, this rant leads me to tomorrow's Crown Jewel event and the John Cena AJ Styles match being booked on Twitter. It's to me just another example of uninspired booking for the farewell tour that is now almost over. And so, as I go on to preview my thoughts on tomorrow's Crown Jewel in Australia, I want to say that Cena and AJ Styles is one of only two matches on the card I'm looking forward to. So I understand why the match is made, why it's happening, that it doesn't need a lot of booking. But I just think if Cena's farewell tour actually had inspired booking this whole year, it could have made for a much better year of pro wrestling to watch. But instead, we get this match booked on Twitter because Cena wasn't going to make dates the past few weeks on TV. So WWE had to work the marks into thinking the fans made the match happen, but that's not true. It's just because Cena was not going to be able to be on TV. So we had to book the match on Twitter. So the story is it's Cena versus Styles one last time. And while I'm looking forward to the match, it's an example of most premium live events this year where the stakes just aren't there in the WWE. And the stakes aren't there in that match. Am I hoping it's going to be a good match? Of course. I mean, I can't see Cena losing again after being decimated by Lesnar, which seems to be their last ditch effort to make a story out of the end of Cena's career. I feel like Lesnar is probably set up to be his final opponent. I don't know. Um, and from, but let me see what Devin's saying before I go on to the rest of the card. TNA Invasion should have been led to the main roster by AJ Styles. Then Cena could have led WWE into a brawl versus TNA at Survivor Series, and his final match be AJ. I mean, that's a story I would have liked. I mean, I do enjoy the TNA Invasion on NXT. It's the only thing in wrestling that I'm kind of enjoying right now. So maybe it could have made the main roster pop a little bit with AJ Styles being involved with that story. I mean, that's a good idea. AJ is known as Mr. TNA. And Cena known as Mr. WWE. So I don't hate that idea. I don't know if I love AJ being Cena's final opponent overall, but it would have made this match have more stakes. Anyway, let's talk about some of these other matches before I have to go, but I will be back later for another live. I don't know. I just feel like the title matches on Crown Jewel are just more lazy booking as well. It's for the Crown Jewel Championship. Like, we're supposed to give a shit when that championship is nothing more than bragging rights. There's really no stakes in the Rollins and Cody match. And yeah, I get the history. Cody returned as the mystery opponent for Rollins at WrestleMania 38-ish to defeat Rollins. Cody then kept beating Rollins. So the story is that Rollins needs that big win over Cody. So, I mean, there is at least more story here than Cena and Styles. It's just not that riveting to me. I guess I'm also just struggling with the vision as a whole. I mean, I don't like the story. I mean, I don't dislike the story overall, but to me, it's just another retread on the bloodline, even though Solo just tried to have the same story last year with his own bloodline. So Heyman now has his own group that will try to dominate the WWE. It's just each subsequent story after the bloodline with similar factions like this has become less and less compelling. Anyway, the story here is Heyman will question why he chose Rollins over Roman Reigns if Seth can't get the job done against Cody. So it feels like a match that is must win for Seth, and it probably is. So I guess there are some stakes on the Rollins side. But for Cody, it kind of seems like just another match. It's champion versus champion, but with no real stakes on Cody's side. So it hasn't been enough for me to truly invest in the match. I think I would be actually more interested if Rollins loses. Maybe that makes the Vision storyline more riveting. I don't know. Devin says Braun will help Seth win by going after Cody, is what you're saying? Probably. I mean, that would be the most obvious result. I do think the Vision gets involved somehow. Next up is the women's Crown Jewel title match, which has even less stakes. Another champion versus champion. Stephanie Vaquer, whose name I kind of struggle with, and Tiffany Stratton. It's probably the match I'm looking forward to the least, even though Stephanie had the best match at WrestlePalooza by far with Io Sky. So I have all of the faith in the world in Stephanie after that match. So I have no doubt she can perform when necessary after seeing that. But Tiffany Stratton, to me personally, sorry to any Stratton fans out there, she's just not good. I feel like she has not gotten better all year to me. She still struggles on the mic. She's not that riveting in promos to me. And some of her matches, she still seems very, very green. I do think green wrestlers like Tiffany are people that need to have the title, so I understand why she's had the belt for so long. But she's coming off that botch fest a few weeks ago on SmackDown. Although she was not the only one botching in the match, she did have the main botch. So with there being no stakes in this match, I just don't have faith that Tiffany's going to Stephanie's going to have to carry Tiffany to a good match. That's what it looks like on paper to me. So as much as I have enjoyed watching Stephanie Vaquer matches, I myself don't care about the Crown Jewel Championship. And to me, it's just another excuse to have lazy writing. So it's just let's put champion versus champion once a year so we don't have to tell the story. The story's not here, but maybe we get a decent match out of it. Devin says Jade should have uncrowned her. At this point, I kind of have to agree myself with that. I think Jade should have uncrowned her. It has gone on a little too long, and she's just not improving for me. Next on the card is Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. Honestly, the match I'm looking forward to the most. And to me, it's because it's one of the only cohesive stories over the past month in the WWE. Um, as my friend Tiziani would call it, it's the Japanese soap opera that Asuka is like this mob boss with Kari and Io, and it's serving my cup of tea. It's the soap opera that I like. I think Asuka's doing good character work as the mob boss like leader, who is mentally and emotionally manipulating and abusing Kari Zane. It's a story, so I have to like it. It's one of the only stories on this card. Um, I think Io's already felt the wrath of Asuka's manipulation too. She's Asuka's misted her and Rhea Ripley already. This being in Australia, Rhea's home country, I they probably not going to lose. I can't see them losing because this match will probably be earlier on the card. They would probably lose the crowd if Rhea loses this match. And that's fine because, the Rhea and Io friendship these days is fine. I don't know if I necessarily want it to develop into a bigger story for them to once again go after each other because they were literally in a feud at the beginning of the year. And I got a little tired of that. But this match, thanks to Io, Asuka, and Kari's work lately, storyline wise, is why this is the best match on the card for me personally. As you can see, I'm definitely a story oriented person. It's why I cover soap operas too. Last match, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. The other Australian on the card is Bronson Reed. And I do wonder if he will be another hometown winner. The story is that he hurt Roman after their match earlier in the year at Clash in Paris, but Roman did win that match. So should Bronson get the win, the big win here? With Bronson being a part of the Vision as well, it keeps Heyman's story involvement going too. I think I am most interested in the results of this match to see where that lands because I would love for Bronson to get the big win in the Australian street fight, but I have a hard time seeing that happening. Maybe the Vision gets involved here, like Devin was saying in the Cody match. My problem with the anticipation for this match may be an unpopular opinion, but it's gotten to a point lately where I feel like if you've seen one of Roman's matches, you've seen them all. So if this match is just full of spears and splashes and kickouts, I'm probably not going to enjoy it personally. But it's still one of the matches on the card that I at least care about a little bit. And that is our main card. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know if I will be consistent in doing wrestling lives, but if I'm going to challenge myself to do more lives, I need topics to talk about. And WWE is something that I do watch and can be passionate about. AEW too, I try with AEW, I do. But we'll see what happens going forward. Devin, while you're in the chat, if you're still there, what match are you most looking forward to, if any, on this card before I go right soon? I don't know if they'll add another match. I think SmackDown it's probably already happened. I haven't had a chance to figure that out. You're looking most forward to Rowan versus Bronson. Yeah, it's the second match on the card I'm looking forward to most, I guess. I am looking forward to Cena and Styles as well. So there's 3 matches. The 2 title matches, though, that aren't really title matches. Champion versus champion with no real stakes. Not my cup of tea. So I'll have to go check and see what happened on SmackDown because I haven't watched it yet. I've been watching the challenge, so I could do a video on that. That's all for now, though. Thank you, Devin, for joining me as always in the chat. We'll see if I continue to talk WWE or AEW. They do have an event next week, so maybe next week I'll give my thoughts on this premium live event and talk about the AEW card. Go enjoy Big Brother 2.